I ended up using the safe ale, Saf ale,
Mm-hmm.
Safal.
Oh, 05?
Yeah, whichever one was in the recipe, 4 or 5.
The red?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 5.
Hopefully so far it's worked out. So I didn't end up harvesting just because I wanted to be like, let's try to keep this as foolproof as possible.
Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yep, that's what the band is named after.
It's true.
When I racked into secondary, I had a bunch of trub at the bottom. I'm like, I could do something with this. So I just kind of swirled it around a little bit and dumped it into an apple juice
How
jug. And so now that's making cider.
how many jugs of apple juice, just random things of apple juice, do you have laying around at any given time?
This was the last one, but I had 3 at one point just sitting there for just stand by, like, I'll just try dumping this dregs of this beer in there and see what happens, and it generally works.
Well, I mean, yeah, it should, but it's amusing.
The volume of trub, it wasn't all trub, it was, more of the liquid. I didn't just scoop a bunch of, I didn't pull the beans on it and dump it all in there, but the liquidy part, little leftover, I dumped it in there, and it's just a half gallon of juice. And so by the end of the night, it was bubbling already just because of the volume of yeast I put in there. It's pretty entertaining.
The harvested yeast really gets things moving, and I guess that's because it's essentially in a starter.
Right.
Because we're starting it to like give it a little bit of food. It's like just a low gravity wort at about like 1.03 or something like that.
Right.
50 grams in 2 cups of water dissolved on the table. That's what I use for the starter, and the starter never really gets going crazy. You just notice a really thick layer of yeast building at the bottom.
Right.
And you just gotta swirl it a little bit every day, and then once it starts get krausening, I guess is the proper term.
Yeah.
Then you can go from there.
Yeah. Jump starting the whole process with that.
It's right. I don't know if I'm going to be able to go back to a regular yeast. A 6-pack of beer is just a shred more than a
pack of good yeast.
Yeah.
So you get the beer and then the yeast too. Mm-hmm. And I would say that it's a reputable beer. It probably has decent yeast in it too. So, like Bell's, as you mentioned,
yeah,
probably has really good yeast.
It's a pretty clean yeast. I did that with the last IPA we did, the last stovetop IPA I did. I used Two Hearted, but if only to prevent the dregs from the beer, to give it too much of a hoppy flavor. So I used the amber this time. It's good stuff.
I think I'm going to use the yeast from a vintage of Bourbon County Stout that I had. I think it's like, 2016 or something like that.
Okay.
Dump that in. That was a joke. Was that the infection year? I don't know if I hit that right.
Yeah, I can't remember. Fun fact, so you might remember a few years ago we did La Fin du Merde.
Mm-hmm.
And if you will remember, the most notable change was the yeast.
Oh,
because it's got some sort of weird, funky French-Canadian house yeast in there.
Yes. Oh.
So, needless to say, at some point,
La Fin du Merde Part 2.
Part 2 with the harvested house yeast to see how close we can get it.
Oh, that's intriguing.
Right? I was proud of that, even though I should have thought of that, months ago.
Right.
But what are you going to do?
You put the Hot Shots Part 2 logo on there, and instead of the chicken, you can put a beer bottle or something.
Oh, yeah. Is the first one the one where they have like the plane going through their ears and then coming out the other side?
I think so, yeah.
But Part 2 is the one where he's got the chicken and the bow and arrow, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
This is all memories from like browsing a video store in
sure is.
1992.
Yep, 100%. Solid movies,
or whenever
though.
that movie came out, yeah.
Good, enjoyable movies. I don't know if they're solid, but they are enjoyable.
Yeah.